Hello, friends! Do you love to travel and learn about new places and things? Great! Then you are in the right place. Join Jasmine the cat and Gracie the tortoise as they have fun exploring the USA, the world, and beyond.
Hello, friends! It's Jasmine, the jazzy gray cat, here with my bestie Gracie, the super smart tortoise. Say hi, Gracie.
Greetings, my good friends. Gracie here. I'm so glad you joined us today as we learn about the Arctic animals who love that polar habitat.
I am so excited, Gracie, because in our last episode, I talked all about the Arctic wolf, and now we can learn more about animals that like the cold.
That's right. The North Pole is at the top of the Earth and is surrounded by the Arctic Ocean.
Wait a minute. Are you saying there isn't any land at the North Pole? Just water?
That's right. The top of the Earth is just water and large pieces of ice that are always moving.
But Gracie, where do the animals live? They can't swim all the time.
Well, Jasmine, there is land near the North Pole, and this land is parts of Canada, Greenland, Alaska, Russia, Iceland, and parts of Scandinavia.
Okay, I get it. The North Pole is not a country, but parts of lots of different countries.
You got it. The land is very beautiful and has mountains, islands, ice sheets, and areas of tundra. And of course, we can't forget the snow. Lots of snow, but very little rain. And it's really cold here.
How cold is it, Gracie?
So glad you asked, Jasmine. In the winter, the average temperature is about minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. And to make it even colder, it's dark all winter long because the sun doesn't rise during the winter months. Finally, you wouldn't want to step outside because fierce Arctic winds are always blowing and making it feel even colder.
Ooh, that's too cold for me. Is it always winter there?
No, the Arctic actually has two seasons, winter and summer.
Summer? Does it get warm enough to go to the beach?
I'm going to say no. It can get up to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, but that's really not beach weather.
It sure isn't. Too bad, because there's lots of sunshine here in the summer. The sun shines for 24 hours a day, so you would think it would be super warm. But because the sun never gets very high above the horizon, the sun's rays aren't able to warm up the land. Now that we know what it's like up here, let's find out who likes to live here. I can tell you right now, it's not me.
Me either, Jasmine. I do like it warm. While it may seem too cold for us, you'll find narwhals, belugas, walruses, and humpback whales that enjoy these cold waters.
You would think that it is too cold to live here, but lots of animals sure love it here. Animals that like to live on the land include polar bears, harp seals, lemmings, Arctic hares, husky dogs, reindeer, muskox, Arctic foxes, and those Arctic wolves. And birds like snowy owls, puffins, and Arctic terns.
That's right, and there are even more than we mentioned. Many of these animals have made special adaptations to their bodies over the years to survive. Since there are so many interesting animals, I think it would be best if we just picked one or two to feature today. Now, who are you going to talk about first, Jasmine?
I'm going to talk about the Arctic hare and the Arctic fox. Both of these animals have the neat trick of changing fur color, kind of like having two different wardrobes. For their summer clothes, the hares and the foxes are a grayish-brown fur, but in the winter they both turn white. Want to know why, Gracie?
I do, and I'm sure you'll tell me.
Both animals do this so they can hide. In the winter, when it's super snowy, they need to be white so that they can blend in with the snow. In the summer, their brown or gray fur color matches the landscape better.
Excellent example of an adaptation to their environment. Anything else?
Yup, Arctic foxes are the only members of the fox family who can change color. Also, that thick white fur keeps them super warm in the cold Arctic winter. These guys even have fur on their paws to help them walk across the ice and snow. kind of like their own fur booties.
A fur coat is handy in the cold. How about those Arctic hares?
Arctic hares, who are cousins to rabbits, are super speedy. They can run up to 40 miles per hour. Friends, if you want to feel how fast this is, ask your mom and dad to tell you when your car is moving at 40 miles an hour. Zoom! That's how fast those hares go. Another cool trick this hare has is when it's being hunted by an animal who wants to eat it for lunch. When the hare feels threatened, it will stand on its back legs, pull one of its front legs close to its body, and then hop along three-legged. This fools the hunting animal, who is looking for a four-legged hare and only sees 3 paw prints in the snow. Pretty smart.
It sure is. Now let's explore some of the animals that enjoy that icy Arctic water. Seals and walruses are another group of animals who just love it here. They are animals that live on both the land and in the sea. While they do spend most of their time in the water, when they decide to come out onto the land, this is called hauling out.
I get it, because they pull or haul their big bodies out of the water. Gracie, tell about those seals first.
Okay, 6 types of seals live here: the bearded seal, harp seal, hooded seal, ribbon seal, ringed seal, and spotted seal. Which one would you like to learn about, Jasmine?
The harp seal, please. It sounds pretty.
Excellent choice. The harped seals got their name from the black marks on their back that look like the musical instrument, the harp. Baby seals, or the pups, are born white but turn yellow or gray as they grow up. Harps spend most of their time swimming and diving and will go down up to 1,000 feet looking for fish to eat. When it's time for babies, the female harps get together and make large colonies on the pack ice. Another time the seals spend a lot of time on the ice is when they molt or lose that top layer of skin, which will then grow back fresh and shiny.
I would love to see a snowy white harp seal pup. So precious. What do you know about walruses, Gracie?
So glad you asked, Jasmine. Walruses are very large marine animals with long tusks and a mustache.
A mustache on an animal? How silly!
Yes, they are comical looking. Not only do they have a mustache, they also have whiskers and wrinkled brown and pink skin.
That sounds kind of like a very old man.
I do see the resemblance too. But old men do not have flat flippers, a tail, and lots of blubber or fat that keeps them warm.
Some old men are pretty chubby.
Sometimes they are. Let's get back to those walruses. Their long tusks are very helpful. They use them to help haul their bodies out of the water and onto the ice.
Kind of like how people use their arms to pull themselves up.
Excellent comparison, Jasmine. Walruses can even use those tusks to help them walk.
Like a cane.
Maybe. Lastly, the tusks can be used to break holes in the ice when the walruses are underwater so they can get air. Both boys and girls have tusks, and these tusks never stop growing. The tusks are actually canine teeth and can grow up to 3 feet long. Their mustache and whiskers are very sensitive and help them find food, such as clams that live way down at the bottom of the ocean floor.
So the mustaches are both elegant and useful.
Yes, they are. Another interesting walrus trick is that by slowing down their heart, they can stay in the freezing Arctic water for up to 10 minutes. Finally, walruses are very noisy creatures, always snorting and bellowing to their friends.
Guess they like to catch up on all the gossip. Arctic animals are really cool. Get it, Gracie?
Yes, I do. Now how about a walrus knock-knock joke?
Great! I have one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Walrus.
Walrus who?
Walrus, you always ask silly questions, Gracie.
Really, Jasmine? I'm the one who asks all the questions?
I think it's time for me to tell my favorite fact. My favorite fact is that walrus tusks are super handy. They can pull themselves out of the ice, they can break holes in the ice, and they never stop growing. What's your favorite fact, Gracie?
My favorite fact is that Arctic hares fool predators by hopping on 3 legs. What was your favorite fact, friends? Don't forget to tell someone you love.
That's right. And come back next time. Oh no, Gracie. We forgot to talk about polar bears. We can't leave the Arctic yet.
Oh no, Jasmine, you're right, we did. Maybe we should come back next week with more Arctic animals.
You got it. Okay, friends, come back next time for more about polar bears and a few more Arctic animals. Bye now. Say goodbye, Gracie.
Goodbye, my dear friends. See you next time.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining Jasmine and Gracie on their adventure today. Come back next week for the next one.
Hello, everybody. It's Gwen here. If you want to know more about the places we visited, just go to our website, jasmineandgracie.podbean.com, and go to the sources page, and you can find out all about the great places that we visited. See you next week. Bye-bye.